Ain't gonna happen. People thought revelers who spotted floating lights inside the abandoned Spinnaker aquarium had simply had one too many. And when a Jackson Square medium shrieked that the dark man in the brick place was summoning me, onlookers thought she was crazy. I knew better. I used to work at Spinnaker, taking care of the fish. I was a young and idealistic girl then, spry enough to shimmy across planks over a stingray pool, crawl through the drained octopus cave and clean the crevices, haul a 50-pound tub of frozen capelin out of the walk-in. I was exceptionally lucky to have that job in the fishes and invertebrates department. I was not lucky in the love department. Whoever said it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all had clearly never loved. Because after it was gone, all I did was long to have it back. I couldn't raise Hux from the dead, and I couldn't recreate what used to be. I'd hoped to find peace in New Orleans, but his absence flavored every Sazerac, stalked every parade, palsied every holiday. Spinnaker was the castle of her district. Bars, restaurants, and shops bloomed in her shadow. Everyone said she'd fallen to the post-pandemic economy, but even in happier days, that place, it was never right. Its prime location on the Sound had made it attractive to a colonial settlement, then to a summer enclave for the wealthy, then to the Topsail Oyster Company. Smallpox eliminated the settlers, a hurricane swept away the beachgoers, and an inescapable fire incinerated over 100 workers mid-shuck. Throngs died there, and you could feel them in the walls. It was plagued by angry spirits who pursued victims to their deaths. Down south, they would have called them Haints. So, when 4 women, each of them bearing a strong resemblance to me, disappeared, knowing better was no longer enough. The dark man in the brick place needed to be stopped. It was time for me to end my 20-year exile and go home. My heart broke as I stood in Spinnaker's lobby. The last time I saw it, it had popped with color, and babbling children drowned the omnipresent soundtrack of wailing chanties and ticket printers. It was awash in trash and empties. The sunny colors were dark, the silence seeped like a chill, and what was left of the admissions counter was water damaged. Creative vandals had attacked the playful murals. The singing seahorses and calypsoing crabs were scarred in red paint, and the octopus's eyes were bleeding. "That's an interesting rendering there," said my former co-worker, Bruce. He was over 6 feet, twice as smart as me, and had taught me everything I learned on that job, most of which I had forgotten. "Someone should tell those punks the ink doesn't come out of their eyes," he said. When Bruce was angry, he wielded knowledge like a harpoon. It obviously broke his heart to see the place so dilapidated, too. I'll admit I felt guilty about that, but thanks to Katrina, I was no stranger to the risks of urban exploring. I knew I couldn't go in alone. I was aware Bruce was jealous of Hux's hold on my heart, but despite the awkward tension between us, Bruce had stayed in touch after I'd moved away. I knew he'd do anything for me. When I explained everything, he said he'd always attributed the mysterious floating lights to thrill-seeking delinquents. He made it clear that he was even less convinced that Hux had anything to do with luring the vanished women to their deaths, but it had still been easy to get him to agree, especially after he had sake in him. "Whatever you need to do to let him go," Bruce had shrugged. "I'll absolutely go with you." But in the lobby, after we'd witnessed the automatic doors opening on their own, just like they'd done during business as usual, even though there was no electricity, he cleared his throat. "Okay, enough in here. Are we done with this trip down memory lane?" He was definitely having second thoughts. I'll stop there. Thank you.